I need to put like "Gotta Blast" right there.
Gotta
3,
blast.
2, 1. Gotta blast.
I needed that.
My goodness. Happy Wednesday. Leave it at the table, faithful. Happy to
Yes.
be back in here. Happy to be just me and Drew tonight. Love our guests, but
Well, my guest is Earl Campbell.
my guest is the 2016 to 2020 WWE Universal Championship belt.
I'm
And,
here for it.
I figured it was appropriate this week because WWE fans were hurting.
Hurting.
We're hurting. But
I thought Cena dropped the world.
it was awesome, dude. Just
I
awesome.
thought it was great.
Oh, it was fantastic.
What? Why are we
It's
hurting?
it's not really hurt. It's like, imagine if it's like, I don't even know how to put it in sports terms, dude. It's like if let's put this in sports terms. Give me just a second. If Bobby Bowden, for Florida State fans, if Bobby Bowden in the middle of the Florida State-Florida game would have just like kicked Charlie Ward in the nuts and then went over to the Florida sideline and started coaching the Gators. That's what the equivalent of this was.
just Cena turn into a heel.
22 years, dude. 22 years.
He's been the good guy for 22 years.
22 years.
No one saw this coming.
Nobody. Well, I mean, a lot of like people like me, you know, geniuses, obviously, people that watch the wrestling for like their entire lives. I kind of saw the signs, like just kind of being somebody that analyzes and, you know, just kind of picks things apart. But man, what a wild time that was.
I absolutely loved all of my friends, and I started seeing friends that I didn't know watched wrestling.
Yeah.
Because whenever you share something, I'm like, okay, this is like normal run of the day. This man enjoys wrestling, so he's gonna share wrestling stuff. When I see other people that I didn't know sharing stuff about Cena turning to a heel, holy crap! I was like, okay, this is big news.
Absolutely erupted, dude.
Hello, Shelbs.
What's up, Brian G? Brian Graham. Shelby's in the chat. Shelby will be here in 2 weeks. Ironically enough, during spring break, which we'll talk about here shortly.
Can't wait.
We're doing a little spring special tonight. Don't really know what directions this whole conversation is going to end up going in, but
I got 120 plus questions if we just want to take up the whole time with some random ass questions.
folks, the show's running until midnight, so get comfortable.
Get comfy. Come
also,
hang out. Send food.
I know you're chill right now, but like,
You want that fan?
Yeah, still fat. Yep, need the fan.
Okay, I got you.
All right, so just want to do a few shout outs there. Mom, shout out to you. Love you. Brian Graham also checking in, like we said. Shelby's there. Oh, ADHD Acres sharing us on Facebook with the typo, calling us his boss. We love you. Get back to work. Bo Green stopping in. What's up, brother? Stopping by real quick to say hey. Celebrating my youngest's birthday. Also, heel Cena. Let's go. Shout out Bo Green and happy birthday to the young man over there in the Green household. And shout out to the entire Bo Green family. Shelby says she cannot wait to play with the lamp.
Yes.
Most
People can't wait to play with my lamp.
It's like probably the top attraction in the studio, I'd say.
Hey, I'm here for it, and it was a gag gift. I'll take it. Like,
Hard to gag on that, though.
hey, you never know these days. You never know these days.
So I will take that second unnamed cerveza, if you don't mind, before we really get rolling here.
Quick story about these. I will give him a shout out
Go ahead.
because my father-in-law had never had one apparently. There we go. Oh yeah.
Father-in-law never had a Mickey Slim?
So we go. Michaela's birthday is tomorrow. Happy early birthday to you, babe.
Oh God, you should have led off with that. She's probably not watching.
She'll find out later.
Yeah.
But so we go down to and her parents are flipping a house in Swainsboro, Georgia. If you've never heard of it, neither have I. Apparently, it's out in the boonies.
Swainsboro.
Yeah, Swainsboro. So we go out for drinks. We go to this rooftop bar that's in Seaside. If you know, I'm not going to say their name. We go up to their rooftop bar and we have a couple drinks. So I get a Michelob. While we're there, I'm drinking it. My father-in-law sees me drinking a beer, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll have what he's having." So he has one, and he starts drinking. And he's like, "Man, it's pretty good. I like this." And I'm like, "Okay, well, it's a Michelob Ultra." Like, okay, well, it's a very common beer.
Very popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then we go downstairs to their little taco bar. We get and so we sit down, and I have another one. Well, he orders another one as well. Couple days later, I'm at work yesterday, and I get a text message from him. He was like, "Hey, what is the name of that beer? Michelob Ultra Light?" And I'm like, "No light, just Michelob Ultra, just or Ultra or Mick Ultra. Like, that's all you need."
Mickey Slim.
Like, where did you get light? It's a superior light beer, but it's Mick Ultra. Where did you get light from?
Yeah. So mom asked, my goodness. Wow.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for everybody to say. Mom asked to explain a heel. So for those of you that don't watch wrestling, and this isn't a wrestling show tonight, we are going to do one closer to WrestleMania. Need to reach out and try to get some guests for that week. Work on it off the air. So WrestleMania week, we'll talk about wrestling, but mom wants to know what, like, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with wrestling terminology, a face is a good guy, a heel is a bad guy. Face is supposed to be like beautiful, right? So your face represents beauty. And they say the ugliest part of your body is your heel, right? So that's like, yeah.
Huh.
So
I didn't know it was that.
Yeah, well that's kind of where the terminology started, and then
I could
to this day,
I could think of some uglier spots than a heel.
Well, in wrestling terminology, the heel is the ugliest part of your body. So, absolute shell shocker this past week. Shout out AG Adam Goff in the comments. Shout out Rick Ty checking in on us. Elbow or chocolate starfish would be the ugliest part of the human body. Dude, I gotta tell you, it depends on the starfish. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm in on a couple starfishes. Is
On
that
a
a plural? Is that a plural?
Starfishes. No, I think it's still starfish.
Starfish. Couple of starfish.
A couple of starfish.
Yeah.
That sounds.
A couple of starfish.
Chat, let us know when you look at multiple starfish simultaneously.
Who's the English major?
When you look,
let me know.
Multiple starfishes simultaneously. Is it starfishes?
If you got here from my Facebook post, you will understand why I keep drinking.
Yeah, well, why don't you let's talk about it, because we before we get into spring, we've both got some life change, not really life changes per se, but some developments in life that we could kind of vent about. We have an outlet to do it. I'm struggling tonight, dude. I got to get back into the habit of like taking the whole day off,
talking,
and then talking at the end of it, because today I'm just like a fucking mess. So
to clear things up for everybody, it was just a very rough day for me. It was my first bad day that I had at work in probably 3-4 months. So I mean,
they're gonna happen.
Yeah, it's one of those things that bad days will happen and things won't go your way every day. So today was my day. I just kept having to remind myself to breathe and relax at the end of the day, because like I said, this was my first bad day in like 3 to 4 months. So it's not that bad of a job if you have bad days 3 to 4 months apart. Like I'm not mad. It was just it was mentally taxing, and it was very I struggled a lot throughout the day with easy tasks. That was my biggest thing, because and I'm the type of person, you know this about me, like if I get something wrong that's easy, I'm going to beat myself up about
Spiral.
It all day long.
Just put one in the outfield, Drew. Pop up the first.
Exactly. So it gets me to a point where like I'm starting to rethink everything, and I overanalyze, and I beat myself up because of one small mistake. And I'm trying to break that of myself. But changing what you've done for 29 years is kind of hard. So, but it's getting to a point. It's just one of those things that I was glad that I was able to come tonight. And like you said, we have a platform to vent about things, but we also have a lot of fun doing stuff like this. And I was like, you didn't hear me before the show, and you were unmuting the mics, but I was just kind of sitting back and just taking in the moment, going, we do this for fun. Like at the end of the day, it's not, number one, it's not a job. Number two, yes, we hope to get paid. Shout out everybody in the comments. If you have a way for us to get paid for this, please lay it on us.
Let us know. We're looking for sponsors, investors, whatever. We clearly need some new damn cameras.
But at the end of the day, we do this for fun, and we do this to bring you guys content. But first and foremost, we do this for the sanity of us and for the fun of us. So, girly. Which one? Which one?
Yeah, I mean, all the viewers will be gone in a flash.
But yeah, it's like I said in my post, I needed some laughs. This is just fun.
Hell yeah, man. Glad we could be here for that. It's fun to be here every Wednesday. I love doing this. It did start to feel like kind of workish there for a couple of weeks. Not necessarily workish. It's just when the schedule doesn't go the way you kind of hope to plan it out, which is kind of like doing the brainstorming thing is such a double-edged sword. It's a great idea. We need to do it.
It's fun doing it because you're like, oh, I like this idea. I like this. But then it comes to the day, and you're like, we even spoke about it. You come to the day, and it's like, that was a great idea like 3 weeks ago, but I'm not feeling it right now.
Yeah, we talked about the finish the lyrics thing, and it was like when we were talking about it, I was like, oh, that'll be fun. And then when we came up on it, we're like, dude, fuck that. It's terrible. It's it's going to be horrible. So, yeah, I mean, it was it's tough to brainstorm, but it is also, it takes a lot of stress off of being like, what are we going to do this week? What are we going to do this week? Yeah. So that will be something that we do again here pretty soon, I think.
Yeah. Because we've got a couple more weeks planned, and then it's just figuring out what. And I like doing it I like doing the brainstorming live, and I know that's how you like it more. Yeah. But after doing it, just us, because we didn't have it, we weren't able to go live, and then thinking about it live. It allows so many more people to put their views out. And at the end of the day, yes, we're doing it for fun, first and foremost. But number two, we want people to pay attention. We want people to watch.
For the people.
We want to put on stuff that you guys want to see.
Absolutely. You know, it's I mean, we've had some great ideas come from the Facebook comments. And one of the worst ideas that we've ever done, the Bean Boozled. The Bean Boozled came from Danielle, but she took it like a champ, and she came in here and did it with us. Hopefully, we can get her back in here soon. She did say she's got some great sports ideas to throw out.
Dude, I don't know if it's just me.
Sports ball.
And it's probably just me. I was listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Shout out to those guys. Free ad there. We love them. Obviously, I guess I still technically do work for them so during football season. So, I was listening to them the other day, and Miss Leanne Schwartzentruber, the coach's daughter, if you know her, shout out to her. I love her. Yeah, she does Thursdays, which is what I originally did, and I was going to go back on Thursdays, but now I work on Thursdays. I was listening to her, and she had mentioned, like, if you don't watch all these sports, you're not really, like, a true sports fan. And I think that at first I was, like, kind of taken back by the comment, and I was like, well, maybe she's right now, because I'm sitting here thinking about myself, like, I don't really care about anything outside of baseball and football anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad we don't do, my point in saying that was, I'm glad this isn't just a sports podcast. I'm glad that we can come to sports whenever something like this happens that we need to discuss. And obviously during football season, we make our picks. And I'm sure during baseball, before baseball kicks off, which is maybe what we could do on March 26th, I think we have a brainstorming session scheduled for that week. But since that's like the day before opening day, maybe we could do a little baseball special.
We could do our picks.
Yeah, like pick our division winners, pick our World Series and everything. Maybe some award winners. So maybe I'll reach out to Austin Regula, see if he can hop on that one. He's the biggest baseball fan I know. So, but anyway, my point in saying all that was it's just nice to not be limited to sports and be able to just come in here and do whatever the hell we want.
Exactly. So, doing a little springtime talk tonight. If everybody's watching there, if you're watching on Facebook, hit the share button. Let your friends know about us. Send it out to a couple of friends. I do some spamming when I send the show out every week. I hop into the show, and then I hit the share button, and I just start sending it to everybody in my friends list. So
And just remember, spell check. Shout out McAlpin.
yeah, he says he's dealing with the flu. Man, cut him some slack. That poor dude is sick more than Lil Wayne. He's that poor guy just struggles so much, man. Shout out to you.
Sneezed on the beat, and the beat got sicker.
Say the next part, Drew.
No.
Say it. Not a real rap fan.
No.
Not a real rap fan. All right, but yeah, if you guys are in the comments, like I said, hit the share button. If you're watching on YouTube, copy and paste the link, send it to like 5 just random people in your phone, and help us grow. If you know anybody that wants to sponsor our show, Jesus, Drew.
Yes, my child.
If you know anybody that wants to sponsor a good podcast, let them know that this isn't good, but it'll get them a good start. Okay. And then if you know anybody that wants to invest in a group of guys that are really passionate about what they do, let us know.
A group. When did we become a group? There's 2 of us.
2 guys. Sometimes the casting couch is full, but
good.
Yeah, I mean, I loosely say good. I loosely say good.
We're open to producers as well.
We are, yeah. If you want to,
if you want to do your work free,
if you want to come get barked at by a little shit-eating dog and make no money for 3 hours a week on Wednesdays, come on in, dude.
But you want to have fun,
dude. You will have a good time. I will tell you that. I will tell you that. So
it's a blast.
Fucking Jeffrey quit on us. We used to have Jeffrey for this.
Joffrey.
I hate working this damn thing. By the way, I would love to have Jeffrey back. I would love it.
Let's get into some spring talk.
Yeah, you got
some nice talk.
Before we get into your questionnaire, I want to know. I was looking at some other ones earlier. Give me a best and a worst out of the. We're still technically in spring, okay, or in winter. I think the spring solstice is in a couple weeks or whatever. The spring, well, maybe not the solstice.
I know daylight savings times changes this weekend.
So I think that spring happens very, very shortly after. So just for the sake of this saying, we're in springtime. All right. Give me a best and a worst for your winter. While you're thinking about it, I know I just kind of hit you with that out of nowhere. I didn't say that before the show. The best of winter 2024, 2025 for me was, I'd say it was the Snowmageddon. It was awesome, dude. What a freaking awesome couple of days that was. Obviously a little bit chaotic the few days after, trying to get like life back in order, getting the roads fixed up, not being able to really go anywhere those 2 or 3 days after. But I thought, again, I think the local community handled it extremely well. The local businesses were awesome. And I enjoyed Snowmageddon. It was just a great day. Everybody was smiling for Broken Record Talk. Everybody smiled for 24 hours. Everybody just had a great time. Everybody went outside. Most people got the day off work.
Yeah.
Everyone had fun, man. Worst of winter 2024, job hunting right in the middle of the holiday season was something.
Yeah.
So that was and then landing a job and the finances weren't like I was so far behind that the money just wasn't great. You know what I mean? For me at least. So been playing catch up entire winter 2024 from losing the job in a fire.
I don't honestly.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I meant to tell you about this before we went on the air. I just lost it laughing the other day. I had my second day back at the restaurant. I had a table and they went, "Oh, did you guys do some renovations? It looks really good in here." I'm like, yeah, we did.
We tow it from the flow up.
Yeah.
What you mean?
He's like,
did we do some
I was like,
renovations?
yeah, we closed for 5 months. He's like, well, really? That's a long time. I was like, yeah, we got torched. we all got fired for 5 months. Happy to be back out there, though, man.
Did you do some renovation?
Hey,
no,
it looks good in here, man. Did you guys do some renovations? Like, you can fucking say that. I mean, you could say that.
We didn't do a single thing.
Kinda. We did a little bit.
And if you're in the area and you haven't been by, please go by.
It's beautiful.
Go. It honestly is wonderful.
And the dinero is rolling, baby.
Oh yeah, it's coming in. I honestly don't have a worst. I can't think of any bad things off the top of my head. But other than the snow day, my best would probably be being able to go to Tennessee for Christmas for Christmas. Being able to spend that week up there and an extended period, because for a while there it was looking like I was only going to be able to go up for like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then come back on Thursday, be back to work on Friday, and then which wouldn't have been the end of the world,
right?
But spending that extra time with family, and
can't get it back.
You know it, like you've got your parents are in Tallahassee.
Yeah, my dad. Yeah,
your dad's in Tallahassee, so
got to see him Sunday.
So it makes it hard being able to see like that side of your family for a while. So girly. So it's definitely difficult, especially for family men like us, being able to spend time with them, because you kind of recharge from that standpoint. Because most people look at spending time with family as a draining time. I feel like me and you are one and the same in that same breath. Like, we look at it as, oh, I'm around family. I get to recharge. I catch back up. I know it's different with a 2-year-old, but when you're around,
it's chaos, dude. But it's chaos that you wouldn't trade for the world.
Yeah,
I wish the fucking chaos would chill out a little bit, but
breathe.
You love
relax.
it. You love it, especially a little autistic 2-year-old, bro. Like, a whole different story. Anyway,
he doesn't look autistic to me.
Yeah, son, do autism for the lady.
But yeah, I can't really think of anything bad, like other than today. Like, every time I think of something bad, the first thing that comes to mind is today. But I don't know if I'd I don't know if I'd
We're
say,
still in winter.
I don't know if I'd say today is the worst thing that's happened over winter 2024.
You had to sit through Saints football.
Yeah, that is also true.
Florida State was damn close.
Derek Carr, baby.
Buddy, let me tell you. When you lose your job, dislocate your knee, and then have to sit through 2 and 10 FSU,
I need the Saints to let go of Mickey Loomis.
Yeah,
because he was on board with keeping Dennis Allen. He wanted to let him man down, hand down, man down. He wanted to keep what's his name? Dennis Allen. He was on board with keeping him and said he wanted to let him play out coach out the rest of the year. And everybody's like, no, like, he's not a good coach. You need to change something. And he's like, oh, no, give him the rest of the year. He'll be fine. Like, at some point, Miss Gail Benson needs to rewrite the ship here and get rid of Mickey Loomis, who has been there since the Bush years. Like, he's been there for a while.
a long, long time, yeah.
He hired Sean Payton and got Drew Brees there.
Mom says, what do people think an autistic child is supposed to look like? I'm guessing maybe like Sloth from the Goonies.
I was going with Down syndrome.
Yeah, like maybe that's...
I'm treading on thin ice over here, thinking in my head of how to say things.
Do you think it through?
And I'm 3 beers deep, and I'm going, how do I say this without getting myself in trouble?
Just it is weird to have people go, like, somebody literally has said that to us. Like, he doesn't really look like he's autistic. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
What does autistic look like?
I don't know, like, what like, have you ever walked like, you could walk to a store and again, like, my aunt Belinda has Down syndrome. You could look at her and you can go, she has Down syndrome, right? You could look at somebody with, I mean, there's just we're not going to keep going, but you could look at but autism is so like
90% of disorders, diseases, like you can look at someone and say, okay, I see it. But those extra 10%,
what, like I don't know
ADHD,
situational a lot of the time.
autism, like stuff like that. It's more mental than it is physical.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm going to train Ezra to just, hey, you guys! Look, fucking Walmart. I'm like, see? There he is.
I told you.
I told you.
You guys.
Tyler says we need to play the Wikipedia football game on here. I would love that, Tyler. If you come for spring break, maybe
Is this actually Tyler, or is this
that's my brother, Tyler.
Is this actually, or is this your dad?
No, this is my dad. No, this is not my dad. This is Tyler. That's his Facebook. Yeah, Dad's Tyler
Dad's
Wright on
on
YouTube
YouTube.
is dad. Kim Wright on Facebook is dad. Tyler Wright on Facebook could be one of two Kyles or one of two Tylers, and this is my brother. So that's Kenny talking. What? That's Ken. I don't know. Okay. And anyway.
Shelbs?
My whole family is in the chat, by the way. We better be hitting the share button. I see David Hayes up there, too. We love you, bro. He said it had to be more heartbreaking watching FSU than the Saints. Yeah, yes, Tyler, but he calls me daddy. Shelby said Tyler doesn't know how to spell Wikipedia. Oh, my God.
Shelby.
ADHD Acres says he just coughed up a lung from laughing. I believe it.
Oh. Doesn't know how to spell Wikipedia.
That's awesome. Poor Tyler. Tyler, you coming for spring break?
The fact that the one who doesn't know how to spell Oregon
Yeah, Shelby.
wants to come at somebody in the comments.
Shelby coming at people sideways. So uncalled for. Oh my God! Before we get any further, I feel like we just completely have derailed. The best part of the show is interacting with the fans. By the way,
do we ever stay on the rails?
I don't think there are rails, Drew. I think it's just like trying to drive through the snow. You know, like
nobody in Florida can.
It's absolutely hectic. Before we get any further, shout out. I've been sitting on this news forever. And like haven't been able to talk about it, but shout out to Scott Hollinsworth and his wife Charlotte for having for being pregnant. They're gonna have a baby this September.
I saw that.
I've known that for like 2 months now, and I've just been like, oh, want to talk about it. My best friend's having a baby.
Love people having babies.
I love it when people close to you are having babies. Isn't it just the worst?
It's the worst. I don't know how you kept it in, because it's hard just holding in a secret.
It is hard to keep a secret.
Especially of that magnitude.
Well, you notice, when Scott messaged us last week, hey, did you tell Drew? And I'm like, no, I didn't tell Drew. Like, Drew's one of my best friends, and I didn't tell Drew. Like, secrets of that magnitude, I'm going to keep.
That's one of those where you're just like, okay, that's not my story to tell. I can't tell nobody.
Yeah, it's not my story. Like, hey, I'll wait till you're ready to make that announcement, Scott, and then I'll be able to start talking about it. Scott. Yurt. Yeet.
No yeet.
No, that's fair.
I stay with the no yeet. Sorry.
But do you think Scott, like if he were on here doing like a weird food challenge, you think Scott would, or his wife rather, I guess Scott's not technically pregnant, you think she would vomit from any of that?
Oh, big time.
Okay, all right, because we're doing weird food challenges here in a couple weeks. We're gonna have a couple of special guests. At least one special guest would. My sister Shelby will be here. I think she's gonna ask my mom, which I guess we're here live, so she's gonna ask my mom to come watch the kids so that Rachel can join us as well. I'm not sure Rachel wants to vomit on the air, so we'll see what happens.
I thought you were going with Mom and Shelby and you and me. I thought that's where you were going with it, but you were saying Mom's gonna be babysitter. Okay.
I want to say
Mom says no.
I want to save Mom for Mother's Day.
Okay.
I know your mom is not local, but I figured we'll figure out a way to maybe try to Zoom your mom in that day.
We can work on that.
We'll figure something out. So again,
I can make some phone calls.
Brainstorming. Maybe she can come visit a week. Who knows?
I'll see what I can do.
Come sit in the chaos.
Yeah.
Absolute madness. Our moms have caught so many strays on this show. It's not even fair. Shelby vomits on everything. So Shelby's going to vomit.
Oh, Dave. What's going on, big fella? I'll be seeing you in a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah, next weekend. That's what, spring. Spring brings balls, baby.
Brings what?
Brings balls. We doing a seafood ball. Shrimp ball.
I thought you said balls, like golf balls.
Well, spring does bring the balls.
Hey, is your new simulator correct? Correct. Is your new simulator ready yet?
It's not. It's not, dude. It's not going to be ready, which is such a ripoff because I might have to work that Saturday now.
I need a simulator ready because I'm bringing golf clubs no matter what.
He does have a lawn golf game that's really fun.
At Dave's house, you bring golf clubs.
Yeah. He does have a lawn golf game that we're going to set up. It's
you
really
don't bring extra food. It won't be ready in time. Can you set up the old one? I want to hit golf balls.
He took the net down, dude.
Put it back up.
It was a smart decision because I almost killed a cow last time we were there.
I've been told to never use a driver on a simulator ever again.
That's a good idea. Talked about this last week.
I've lost balls on simulators, so yeah, I don't ever use a driver. I use a 3-wood, and it works just fine. I still hit 210, 215 with a 3-wood, but I mean normally I'm playing a scramble with the guy I'm with, so it doesn't matter what I hit because they're gonna hit further, and I'm playing the Johnny role. I'm just, hey, I'm gonna hit it straight. I'm gonna hit it far. I'm gonna hit it decently far. If you don't get it good, we're okay.
Yeah,
we got something to play with.
Losing a ball in a simulator is crazy, Tyler says. Tyler has broken 2 drivers of mine, so don't listen to anything Tyler says. My sim is dummy proof, so driver away, designed for shit golfers. That's fair. That's fair. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Dope.
Going to be a lot of fun, man, when that thing is up and running.
I'm excited.
Tyler, if you'd answer my question, please. Are you coming down for spring break? Or I don't know if he's just dodging it on purpose. We'll see.
Hey, he's got a job again.
He does, yeah. Hey, everyone check in. Everyone check in the comments if you're watching, by the way. I want to know who's watching, who's out there, so I can shout you out.
Yes, maybe. What the heck does that even mean?
I don't know. Dude, yes, maybe is like the most sidestepping ass answer I've ever heard.
That's the most little brother ass answer I've ever heard.
Shout out Jerry Hicks. I'm pretty sure he's watching over there on the YouTube side. Miss you, Jerry. Love you, brother. He's such a great guy.
Golf Jerry?
Golf Jerry, yeah.
Hey.
Dude, Jerry, he texted me today. He thought the show was yesterday. He goes, oh, so you quit? And yep, that's a whole different conversation if everyone's out there and you didn't know that. He's like, so you quit and you just stopped sending me your show? I'm like, what do you mean, Jerry? I sent it last week. We go live tonight.
Jerry.
He came at me, dude. He came at me sideways.
Hey, I love a man. I love a guy who's passionate about what he wants to watch. He wants to stay in tune with you.
He does
the show. It's really because I'm on it.
That's fair.
That sounded very Nick Gurley-ish. I apologize. I was taking the spotlight away from you. I apologize.
That was very Nick Gurley, but it's all right. Shout out Jerry for watching, and maybe I'll stop by and see you sometime here soon. We'll see.
Why do I always say
I got to get a new grip on my chipper?
You walk in that store.
Shout out Miss Lucinda.
I gotta get my ball retriever regripped.
I still don't have a chip. That's a.
I got you with that one.
Yeah, I think I'll do the Jumbo Max, please.
This thing extends 80 feet.
You know what I did Sunday?
Shot under 100.
No, not yet. I'm damn close. Have you done it?
No.
I'm damn close, dude.
Closest I've gotten is 106.
I'm damn close. But I played an entire round with one ball.
I did that like 3 weeks ago.
Felt
and it's
good,
the
dude.
crazy feeling. Like I think I scored like a 112, but I was so excited.
Yeah, dude.
Because I was like, I used one ball.
Now, I should have lost it a few times, and I just had to check it out of the wood. Holy shit.
What the crap are you sending us, Tyler?
Oh, this is the Wikipedia game that Tyler plays. All right, we'll do it real quick. College, Clemson, 2011 as a position wide receiver. For career, round 1, pick 4. He played at Clemson, Baltimore Ravens, Green Bay Packers.
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, that's Sammy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, because he got drafted by the Bills because he got drafted to play with DJ Manuel over there. Tony shot under 100 when he played in Calhoun last weekend. My stepdad is a better golfer than me, finally. Officially. I still suck.
Have I played with Tony yet?
You probably, yeah. He hits the ball straight. Same with Ted. They don't hit the ball well, but they hit the ball straight. And
that's half the battle.
Dude, I mean...
That's 75. That's 75% of the battle, hitting it straight.
If you hit it 110 yards at a time straight, you're gonna get on the. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get down in 6, like every hole. You're gonna get down in 6 every hole. Like whether you top it, you hit like. And I wish I could just be. I want to be horribly like. What terribly terrific. Drew, you have not played golf with Tony. I thought.
Can we go back to me getting Sammy Watkins off rip? Like
it was so disorganized, but yeah, no, that was really good. Well done.
You were reading it off, and the first Clemson wide receiver to come to mind was Sammy Watkins, and you were like, you said drafted to the Bills, and I was like, oh yeah, Sammy Watkins, and then we just kind of smoothed over it, and I was like,
I'm not doing that one, buddy. Kutztown is the college. All right. Anyway.
NFL draft 1985? Is that what it says?
Yeah, I think so. We're absolutely unhinged here.
Round 4?
Absolutely unhinged. What did Jerry? Anything? Oh, Brian Bassett checking. Brian Bassett texted me in the middle of my show, and he knows we're live. I take offense to that, honestly. All right. Drew, we had a spring questionnaire. But we're sitting here at the 45-minute mark, and we haven't talked about spring at all. So let's talk about a little bit about spring.
Where the heck is Kutztown?
I don't know, dude. Spring break is coming. You have any stories from like spring breaks in the past? Like, did you ever do anything? Like, I know.
No, my family was poor.
Samesies.
So all of my friends were like Andre Reed.
Oh, well.
Get on subject, dudes. Yes, Mom. My family was poor, so we never really did any like spring break. Like all my friends were, oh, I'm going to Panama City Beach, blah blah blah, because I lived away from here. But they were all like, oh, we're going to the beach, we're blah blah blah, we're going to do this. And my spring break was, I'm doing chores in the house, and I live near the school, so it was a week for me and my little brother just to hang out.
Yeah.
So like my biggest memories of spring break were just more time with my little brother. And I mean, we're a year and a week apart, so it was great time, but it was, excuse me, there's no crazy story of coming down to Panama City Beach doing anything like that. I am burping like a mug.
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't already gone up to go pee a couple times. Speaking of which, I'll take another one of them Mickey Slims.
Don't start that.
Yeah. Dude, so spring break, about the same for me, man. I really didn't do a whole lot growing up. Spring break was kind of just a week out of school. We didn't take a lot of vacations. Jesus. Oh, yeah. Didn't take a lot of trips. But spring break's coming up here. And this year, you know, Shelby's going to come on the podcast on Wednesday night, and then Rachel and I took Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off, and we're gonna do a little staycation. Yeah. Do a little cleaning around the house. We're gonna take Carson out. I think we're gonna go to WonderWorks on Thursday. Maybe go check some stuff out. I don't know what else we're gonna do, man, but I know that we're gonna have a really good, just relaxing 3 or 4 days together as a family, and it's much needed. A little mental reset, like we talked about earlier, some family time. I love it, dude. I love it. And then, of course, you know, to precede that, next weekend, the 15th, we're going to have a shrimp boil up at Dave's. We're going to have some raw oysters. Do you eat raw oysters?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, we're going to tear through a bag of oysters. It'll be us, Shelby and Dave, my mom and Tony. I think my sister Shelly and her fiance Matt are coming down.
I'm working on Michaela.
Work on the wife, dude. Get her to come. I'm telling you, it'll be fun. And then, have you met my sister Shelly? Maybe at birthday
Possibly.
parties in passing.
Was she here for Mother's Day?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I got invited to a cookout. Show up, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, since it's Mother's Day, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Wait, this is a whole Mother's Day cookout?"
Remember
Like, I was just invited to a cookout, and I showed up, and the first thing Shelby said, "Oh, you're not family, get out." And then Mom pulled me over and goes, "Oh, he's family enough." I'm like, "Oh,
Family enough.
cool.
Mom
I'll
and
take
Tony
it."
will be there. Ted will be there. Ted and Pam will be there. Dude, it's going to be a
Wow.
good time.
I'm really glad I put it on my calendar and didn't take a softball tournament.
Me too. For me too. Me too. It's going to be a good time, dude. We're going to boil
I'm
some
excited.
shrimp. We're going to eat some oysters.
I'm
So
gonna
that's
hit
going
a
to proceed
cow
our
with
week.
a golf ball.
Probably. Well, shit, we can maybe, I'll bring a bag of like throwaway balls and we'll just slam some into the woods. We could do that. There's nothing across the street. We could just,
The Rock will be there.
the Rock will be.
As long as he doesn't bring Cena with him, because he's turning heel these days.
John, why, John? Why, John? Why?
I'm just excited. I'm excited for that weekend.
It's going to be a lot of fun, man. We'll do some lawn golf. Dave's got a really fun, it's all, like you hit like a wiffle ball.
Okay.
It's cool. It's like you got buckets. If you hit the bucket, it's like a point.
Oh, it's the cornhole game. Do you use your own clubs, or you have to use the clubs that come with
You
it?
can use your own.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. Yep.
I mean, you just use like a wedge most of the time, but it's fun. My boil is delish. Can see all the way to the bottom of the pot. Couple of lemons and done. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. It's gonna be so good. Maybe we'll go live from the bowl, from the shrimp bowl. Yeah, so that's what we're doing for spring break this year, and it's gonna be great, man. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to a few days off. I need a good mental reset. It's been a stressful time around here. So when has it not been? It seems like it's like fucking nonstop stress, but
That's the right way.
it is. So
W.
I did find
All
a
right.
gray hair the other day
Are you gonna say where?
on my head. Yeah, no, on my head, on my head. Oh no. Won't be my point. Won't be able to see shit. I was wondering, but I didn't have time, Dave, to really like dissect your comment there. Of course, though, Drew, the best part of spring, you're wearing a jersey. Fucking baseball season, man.
If you can't tell, I'll stand up.
Here we go. Everybody. If you asked Drew to stand up, if you were thinking it in your head, there you go. Drew is standing up, wearing the Shohei Ohtani jersey from, I think, one of his Japan teams.
Yeah,
They can't hear you.
I'm not even 100% sure what Japan team. Like I got this off Amazon, and because I was going to a Angels game, and while he was still on the Angels,
You got to see him pitch, didn't you?
no, I only saw him hit.
Okay.
But saw him, saw Mookie because they were playing the Dodgers. Saw Freeman, old Frederick. Saw Trout. He was still playing center field at that time. But whenever I went out there, I ended up. I didn't want to show up as an Astros fan. I didn't want to get. I wanted to get a jersey and like blend in. Like I wasn't showing up in an Astros jersey and get beat up in an Angel Stadium.
Yeah, I would be more worried about the Dodgers fans.
That too. So at that point, I was like, well, I want to get a jersey of somebody, and Ohtani was the funnest name that I thought of, but I didn't want to get an Angels jersey. I was like, that's quote unquote my rival. I say quote unquote because I don't know if you count the Angels as an Astros rival. More of
But at the end of the day, also, you kind of knew his time was limited there.
yeah, and so I was like, I'm gonna go unique with it and go with a old school back in Japan jersey, and found one that was black and gold, and I was like, oh, now I can claim Saints too. Like, let's go.
I like it. Dude. Baseball is here. I feel like I finally have some optimism for the Reds. We call it cautiously optimistic. Anytime the Cincinnati Reds have a little bit of hype going into a season,
Will Benson hit that.
Like an absolute tank, dude. And Ellie's hitting like 563 in spring training so far.
The fact that he can do everything at a high level, if he could cut down, I'm not saying cut out his strikeouts, but cut down like even a quarter.
He struck out 230 times last year. If he cuts that down to 180,
I even say 200.
if he, dude, I mean, you're talking, that's him putting 30 more balls in play, and
With his speed,
I mean, that's at least 10 more hits, man.
you put the ball on the ground
It's
30 more times, he's beating out 90% of them.
Brandon turns 18 on 420. Ha!
Hey,
Birthdays of legends, they say. 420. Holy shit, you got to think, nope. That's not what I meant, by the way. That's not what I meant. I was thinking like a little, Mary Jane 420, birthday of legends, but there's a really bad birthday on 420. So disregard what I said.
who's?
I thought about it as soon as I said it, and I'm like, holy shit. Nope, that is not what I meant.
I didn't know his birthday was there.
I was talking like, 420, like that's.
I didn't know his birthday was
Excuse me for
420.
that one. Golly, dude. And of course, I'm the one that brought it up, but you have to point that out, or if I ever get popular, they're gonna be like, look at what he did back in 2025.
Vote for Pedro.
Yeah.
Vote for Pedro.
Patrick Super. Jesus Christ.
This is our year for the past 15 years.
Talk about his most recent comment. Brian. So anyway, I'll keep reading that. May 10th, Breaking Benjamin opens up for Stained. I think it should be the other way around. Stained opening for Breaking Benjamin. Just my opinion. This is his birthday gift. Holy shit, dude! Breaking Benjamin is my all-time favorite band.
I'm excited to see what the Mets can do, though.
I think they're gonna take a small step backwards, and it's funny to say that.
Adding Soto.
Adding Juan Soto, but the pitching staff, like last year, I liked it. This year, it just kind of seems like it's a throw together pitching staff. We'll have a baseball special in a couple weeks.
When
We'll talk
you're
about all
paying
this.
$150 million to one person,
Yeah,
I mean, you're gonna have a throw together something. Whether it's the bullpen, whether it's the rest of the roster, like
Mom, August 2nd, they're at Wild Adventures. We're going. I have to. It's been a while since I've seen Skillet. I got to see Skillet pretty much like once every 2 years, or I will probably die.
So, what is your favorite springtime activity?
Springtime activity, dude. The best thing about spring, not the best thing, but one of the best things about spring is that it's finally fishing season. I love going fishing. And you know what I'm going to do this year? I'm going to go to basstacklesupply.com, and I'm going to use the promo code LEAVEIT, and I'm going to get all of the bass fishing needs that I need. So everybody that's watching, go to basstacklesupply.com. The season is getting ready to go. Spawning season starts here soon. The bass are going to be biting. They are going to be ferocious. Go to basstacklesupply.com. Use the promo code LEAVEIT at checkout, and you will get 10% off of your order. And we will get a little bit of kickback and a little bit of appreciation from that.
Yes.
But so that was a good segue right there. You see what I did? That was fucking brilliant. That was brilliant. But no, I am hyped, dude, because I haven't been fishing in like 2 years.
Wow.
And I'm gonna. This is the year. I'm gonna start going again. It's just I don't like saltwater fishing. I think it's lame. I think it's boring. I like the freshwater fish because even not catching anything, it's calm. You don't have to worry about the tide. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about the waves. You don't have to worry about any of that garbage. It's just you go out and you cast. You go out and you cast. If you want to use live bait, you throw it out with a bobber. You sit down in your lawn chair and you bust open a few beers and you kick back and you fucking relax. And I'm ready for fishing. I'm going to do it again this year. I'm starting back. If anybody in the comments is ready, we'll go fishing this year.
I like the fishing. I like the fishing.
I like the fishing.
I like.
Hey, you guys!
Yeah. I like the fishing answer because at the end of the day, like it's something that I've done. It comes in phases for me because I'll do it a lot, and then I'll what? I'll do it a lot, and then I'll get busy with extra stuff, aka softball, and then next thing you know, I haven't touched my fishing pole in like a month, and then I'll come back, and then I'm like, man, I've got some free time. Let me go cast a couple lines, get a little hooks wet. Let me see what I can do. And there's a place over by my there you go, getting a hook in your mouth. There's a little place by my in-laws' place. They're in Pirates Cove. It's a little dock that you can cast from, and 90% of the time you're gonna catch something.
Freshwater?
It's brackish water.
Okay.
So, but
I like brackish fishing too. Same thing. It's calm. It's
90% of the time you're gonna catch something. 100% of the time it's nothing you want to keep.
okay. I do catch and release mostly anyway.
But it's the feel of, hey, I caught something, because that feels a whole lot better than going out to the beach and coming home with nothing.
Dave, he has ponds behind his house.
I will show up with
Bring a pole.
I will show up with multiple.
Yeah,
I have a couple. I have multiples. Yes, I've probably got, and I wow, talking is hard.
It's something's happening tonight. Maybe we should never have just us again, because something.
I got a poll.
Did you Dahmer these beers, bro?
You cracked it yourself.
I know. I don't get a little syringe or something.
I mean,
I want to take some pictures. Anyway, that's a Dahmer thing. If you watch Dahmer, go.
Sorry. At Walmart, no free ads. They had a couple of months ago. They had in their like clearance section. Love the clearance section at Walmart. Well, I went through and they had this telescoping. Words not do exactly.
Why say lot word when few word do trick?
Facts.
Amen.
They had a telescoping rod that was only about like this big. It was, and so it's big enough to fit in my truck. If you know anything about my truck, it's little. You could fit that in the passenger seat, and I could just bring that out.
Heck yeah.
I've got that. I've got 3 more rods probably set up at the house, just sitting in my shed, ready to get wet.
Let's do it.
I'll have them. I'll bring them.
We'll fish then.
I'll have that, my golf clubs. What else do I need to bring for Dave's?
Maybe just bring the softball equipment just in case. Maybe a breakout tournament starts in Cottondale. You never know. Catondelay.
Michaela and I were driving the other day. We were driving a while back. I forget exactly where we were going. But we passed a sign that said Cottondale. And I looked over and I was like, oh, look, Catondelay. And she just reads it and she goes, what did you say? I said, Catondelay. And she just started laughing. On the way back, we were coming back home, and she goes, oh, we're passing Catondelay. And I was like, now you get it.
Tell her to come on March 15th. I will make the other ladies talk to her.
I'll see what I can do about
I will ask my mom not to wear the Trump hat.
I'll see what I can do about making her come.
Jesus Christ. Here we are.
Yes, my child.
Here we are.
I want her to go.
Here we are, folks.
I want her to go. I want to spend time with her. What do you want from me?
Lord.
I want her to go. I want her to come to the party.
This is a kid's show. If we're ever going to get picked up by Cartoon Network, that shit's going to have to stop.
I'm looking for Nickelodeon Gas, sir.
Nickelodeon what?
Gas. You not remember that?
No.
They had guns.
Oh, prob nah, she says.
She's in the group. She's watching.
She's watching.
Michaela. Oh, she did tell me she has us in the background.
On what though? Prob nah, on what? Coming to the party or the non-kid friendly thing? Because are we about to open up that's a different can of worms. This is a different can of worms. Marriage counseling on Leave It at the Table,
if
folks.
you need a can of worms, go to...
Speaking of which, if you need a can of worms, artificial worms that is, for all your artificial bait needs, go to BassTackleSupply.com. Place your order. Get everything you need. And use the promo code LEAVEIT when you get to checkout, 10% off your order. Anytime you need to put a hook in your mouth and stop talking bad when your wife might be in the chat, go to basstacklesupply.com.
Big facts.
We also live on oh my goodness. Lucinda, can we come fish on your property? I want to go. Dude, that's what I was going to, there's nowhere to bass fish around here.
Golf courses.
Yeah, okay. I'll just take my 5-year-old. 4!
There are some you can go to
6-year-old.
that are like off the beaten path that not many people go to.
I know of some. I'm taking a kid. You know what I mean?
Because you've also almost hit the kids that have been there.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple golf courses where I've hit a ball and it's been eerily close to a 14-year-old standing there bass fishing, and I'm like, I had no idea you were here.
I went to fish at the wharf and over there in Sandestin one day, and there's good fishing on those golf courses. The bass they're not healthy, so it's obviously catch and release anyway.
Yeah.
You fishing on a golf course, you want to catch and release. But I haven't drowned a worm since 1996. I don't know what that means, but Shelby was born in 96, so I'm not sure I want to know. Is all I want. I love my mom to death.
Wait,
I don't want to know.
Shelps was born in 96?
Shelby was born in 96. Yeah.
Same here.
Aw.
What day is her birthday?
June 22nd.
Oh, I'm early.
Yeah, you're early. You're older.
Yeah.
Is what normal
I'm
people.
earlier than that.
I'm earlier than her.
Leave me alone.
A 5-pound bass was hooked twice here. Hooked or brought up? He was meeting a 14-year-old to go fishing. Tyler's fucking cooking you in the chat, dude. I would love Tyler to do the show with us, but he would say the F word no less than 50 times. And that's not the word I'm worried about him saying. So, anyway.
What is your favorite spring holiday and why?
WrestleMania.
Oh, I was going to go opening day.
Opening day for sure, yeah. But, I mean, well, yeah, WrestleMania is a big springtime thing, too.
If we're not talking sports, I mean, isn't the only other springtime holiday like, well, I guess St. Patty's Day's
St. Patty's,
technically.
Easter.
St. Patty's, Easter.
Memorial Day is before summer. I think. I'm pretty sure.
I think Memorial Day is the start of summer.
Right. It's like kind of that. I mean, it's kind of like like spring break is still in winter, but it's like yeah.
I'm gonna go. I mean, it's the easy answer: Easter. What? I don't know. Why am I cutting out now?
I don't know what just happened. You touched the mic and then something triggered there. I don't know.
Oh, triggering. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
We don't even celebrate Easter, Michaela said. Dude, she's cooking you. She's calling you for lying here. We like Easter because we get to take the kids out to do the Easter egg hunt. Obviously, Ezra just tries to chew on the first one he gets, but Carson has a good time. So Easter's pretty fun.
I need to do what you said I needed to do earlier, so I'm going to leave you with this question.
Okay.
You are having a picnic. What are your top 3 food essentials in your basket?
All right. Well, while Drew goes and leaks the lizard because he had 2.5 beers. 3 beers. Okay, I'm trying not to put your business out there. For those of you who might want to call the cops tonight on him. All right, he's gone. Top 3 food things at a picnic? Is that what he said, or a barbecue? Picnic or barbecue? He can't hear me. All right, I'm alone here. If I'm doing a picnic, Publix fried chicken, no free ads, potato salad, and I guess, man, you got to have a veggie, right? Got to have a veggie. Maybe like a veggie tray. That's what I would do. Okay, he did say picnic. Yeah, I would do a veggie tray. Publix fried chicken, no free ads, potato salad, and a veggie tray. That's probably the go-to. How about you guys? If you're in the comments, let me know. Top 3 things that you got to have for a picnic in the springtime. the nice, checkered blanket. Beautiful. You sitting out there. It's gorgeous. Beautiful weather outside. Ants are crawling all over you. Sports opening day and Easter, Jesus resurrection. All right, you're back. I said Publix fried chicken, no free ads. Potato salad, and a veggie tray.
We talking all food? Because I said what?
I thought you said the top 3 food items for a picnic.
Oh, food essentials. Yeah.
Okay.
Pub sub.
I had to ask the chat if you said picnic or barbecue. And everyone hooked us up there.
Pub sub.
I can't have Tyler in the comments. I'm going to go block him.
What is he saying?
It's this fat chick opens up it's a fat guy opens up his McDonald's meal and he's like, oh, they forgot my salad, and he's like 400 pounds. Yeah.
Pub sub, bag of chips, and some watermelon.
Either way, Publix is sponsoring.
Oh, big facts.
Yeah.
I love a pub sub.
Dude.
It's probably my other than Jimmy John's, no free ads. They're probably my favorite sub shop in the area.
Jimmy John's, the only thing about them, no free ads, is that they don't do hot subs, and I love a good hot sub sometimes. Now, I think for a picnic, you would want to do a cold cut sub.
Yeah,
but
I love them because they're good at what they do. They're fast.
A Cuban from the Easy Way. Shout out to the Easy Way on Navy Boulevard, soon to be Navy Boulevard, formerly known as Thomas Drive.
Half of Thomas Drive.
Half of Thomas Drive will be known as Navy Boulevard. What do you think of that? You think that's a good idea?
I get why they did it because it's coinciding with the 75th,
250th birthday for the Navy. Yep.
Well, I was way off with 75.
250th birthday for the Navy.
I get it, but that's going to confuse a lot of people.
I think it's already confusing having 2 sections of Thomas Drive though. Like so many people go, they're like, I'm like, where are you staying? They go on Thomas Drive. I'm like, well, shit.
Which one?
Right. So I think it's a good idea.
Okay. I'm here for it.
I'm just kissing up. I'll tell you why after the show. No, I think it's now it's not something I think was
necessary.
I don't want to say necessary because looking at it now, knowing it's a possibility, it makes a lot of sense to where I think it is necessary. Just because it is very confusing for tourists, it's very confusing even for locals to be like, what part of Thomas Drive? So that's no longer going to be a thing.
To me, I feel like there are better things our government should have been focused on.
So yeah, but however, this was not a long drawn out process. This was like a 1-week process.
Okay. So well, that makes it better.
Yeah. Tell you all about it. March 15th.
Yes, please. So, do you prefer rainy spring days or sunny spring days?
Man, for a guy that just sat here and said that he likes to do fishing and all that stuff, all the outdoor stuff, I love a good rainy spring day. It's just you have to stay in. You get to watch baseball. Give me a rainy spring day, and plus the fishing the next day is great.
Yeah.
If
suddenly spring was no longer a season and it went straight from winter to summer, what would you miss most?
Spring. I mean, we live in Panama City. That's essentially what happens.
I would miss hoodies.
Yeah.
That's the only time, because winter, you're wearing that heavier coat that you never really bring out, especially living here. You're wearing that heavier coat that you never really bring out. Spring is where you can get away with long sleeves, your hoodie, but still wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And flip-flops.
Which we talked about this on the show before. Hoodie, shorts, flip-flops. That's my comfort. That's where I'm best.
And then you go to summer and you're dying if you're in a t-shirt and shorts.
Speedo.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would miss hoodies the most. Hoodies and long sleeves.
Fair enough.
Let's see. If you could teleport anywhere in the world for spring break, where would it be?
Oh, God. Anywhere but here, buddy.
Because everyone else comes here.
The money's so good. The money's so good, but golly, just to get away from here for a week would be just great. Anywhere in the world? Also, I'll go with Arizona, so I could watch some like that last week of spring training baseball.
Michaela and I have been trying to go to Greece for like 5 years now. I'm gonna go with Greece because it's on top of my bucket list of places to go. Yeah. I don't like that question.
This is fun.
I don't like that question. If you don't get to have a spring break this year, what do you wish you could do?
If I don't,
so if you weren't taking a couple days off, what would you, other than that, what would you want to do?
we almost went down to like Legoland. We were gonna try to make that work. Go down to Orlando for a few days, maybe like a little Tampa Orlando mix. Go to a Lightning game, and then go back to Orlando and go to Legoland. So I guess that trip that I originally had in mind would have been cool. Kind of that Tampa Orlando trip. That, really fun drive that everybody loves on I-4 between Tampa and Orlando. That not stressful at all stretch. But yeah, I think that's, if finances would have lined up, that would have been fun, pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But it obviously did not work out like that.
I don't think I'm going to have a spring break per se.
Yeah, you'll be working.
Yeah.
Sitting in traffic.
So for me, my spring break would probably, I would love to go have a golf vacation somewhere.
Just talking about this the other day with my dad. Go ahead.
Get a group of friends and go out to Arizona and say, because as much as I love golf in this area, I want to go somewhere different.
Well, a lot of places aren't this damn expensive either.
Yeah. I want to go and what other state in the United States is known for golf? Arizona.
Yeah.
So I want to go see what golf in Arizona is all about. I already know I love the weather because I went 2 years ago. It was lovely during the day, and you needed a jacket at night. Jacket and pants at night.
My favorite time of year, again.
And you're sweating during the day, jacket and pants at night, and it was totally different. It was a whole new experience I've never experienced, and I enjoyed it. But I want to go try. I want to go try golfing in Arizona, and I want to have a group of friends that we can go out and go play through the day, have a good time at night, because there are places in the Phoenix area that have pretty good Airbnbs. Like Michaela's looked into a couple for bridal showers and stuff like that, and I know it's fun. But it's just getting it out of the group chat and actually doing it. That's half of my battle.
Yeah, half of everybody's battle. If it can make it out of the group chat, it's a miracle. I've always thought about that. It'd just be really fun. I was actually thinking about just a 3-day thing, right? You leave from here, you drive over to let's just say you go up to Mobile, Alabama. You just hit I-10, you drive 2.5 hours, you get a tee time at noon, you play. You stay in Mobile that night, or you drive to the next destination and stay there that night. And then the next morning, almost like a triangle is what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
And then, that second day you play in, let's just say you go from there to somewhere in southern Georgia or, eastern Alabama. And you play just a random city. You play a random golf course there. And then the triangle, you come back down. You come back down the night before, and then you stay up in Chipley somewhere. And then we play Sunny Hills and come home same day. I just thought that would be a really fun trip and kind of inexpensive. I don't think, the most expensive thing is obviously the lodging and the golf.
You drive together.
Yeah, you ride.
So you're all together.
Take one car, you take one bag, you take your clubs.
Winner take all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe not for money, but that would be really fun, man. I've thought about that. Maybe we can make that happen one day.
I'm in.
That's only a 2 or 3 day thing. It's easy, just a little triangle. We can go the other way. We can go out. You can go east a little bit. Go over to towards that, maybe Tallahassee even.
Go say hey to Pops.
Valdosta, yeah. We can go play a course in Tallahassee, shoot up, play a course in Valdosta, come back down. Yeah, we'll see. Man, maybe we'll make that happen. All right, Shelby says she's checking out early, which is okay, Shelby, because we're about to jump into sports. Because unless you got anything else. Because something happened this week that I thought we needed to talk about here. Because we don't talk sports very often. But Travis Hunter, NFL hopeful, going to be a top 5 draft pick, more than likely top 5. At worst case scenario, somewhere in the top 8 or 9. Kind of a underwhelming combine numbers, I think, but I don't think that's going to affect too much.
He's still dual threat.
Yeah.
Does both sides.
Very popular, too, so that helps, which
Yeah.
is the only reason Shadur is getting drafted high popularity. Anyway.
He's accurate, but I'll give you that.
Came out this week and said that what he does, and if you're unfamiliar, Travis Hunter plays wide receiver and Travis Hunter plays corner. He does not do either one at an elite level, but he does them both above average, I'd say. I think he's an average corner and then an above average wide receiver, just in my opinion.
I'd say he's good.
Yeah, but which is incredible to be good at 2 positions.
Being able to do it night in, night out.
Yeah.
Granted, it's 7 days apart, but being able to do it is incredible.
But he came out and said that he thinks that what he does is more impressive, not only comparable to, but more impressive than what Shohei Ohtani does. So I want to get everybody's opinions on that stuck around. First of all, is it comparable in any way? Okay, because it's a 2-way player. So I think we'll talk about that first. Is it really comparable?
If we're talking athleticism, yes, it's comparable. If we're talking physicality, Travis Hunter's correct. If we're talking physicality and the ability to do it in football, yes, it is more impressive to do it in football than it is in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, so I didn't think about that part of it, but that's true because football's a contact sport, baseball is obviously not.
But also, from this standpoint, you're not, from the baseball standpoint, you're talking about playing the field, hitting.
He doesn't play the field, but yeah.
You're talking about hitting and pitching, 2 completely different skill sets. And Shohei is arguably the best hitter in baseball.
Shout out J-Buck, Jordan Gibbs in the chat.
He's arguably the best hitter in baseball. And I don't know what number you'd put him, like top 25 pitching whenever he's on. We haven't been able to watch him.
He's an above average pitcher.
He's an above average pitcher. So
I think he's like a 3.33 ERA, which is.
So you'd put him, like, there's not many people who are better than him at just strictly pitching who focus on nothing but pitching day in, day out. And he's doing both. Then you go to the football side of it. Cornerback and wide receiver, they're kind of the same thing, in my opinion.
Right.
Because you're running routes or you're defending routes. You catch a ball, you deflect the ball.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's as close to the same position as you can get on a football field without being offensive or defensive line.
Fair enough.
It's the closest you can get to being the same position on opposite sides of the ball.
Your job is to track the ball.
Exactly. But then you look at it on the flip side, like I said, with baseball, you're doing completely 2 opposite things.
What's the hardest thing to do in sports?
Hit a fastball. Hit a fastball. He's hitting curveballs, splitters, sliders.
Which, shout out Chef Ross just mentioned the only other person in MLB history to do what Shohei is doing is Babe Ruth, but Babe Ruth didn't have to face sliders, curveballs, any of that junk. And no disrespect to the Babe, obviously, because I know he's not here to defend himself, obviously, but the Babe didn't face 95-mile-an-hour sliders, nasty curveballs. Like
Dominicans.
Shohei is unmatched.
Just straight up Dominicans.
Yeah, like Daniel Tosh said, he didn't have to deal with Jose swimming 90 miles from Cuba to get here to throw 95-mile-an-hour curveballs. You have to deal with that shit.
So I will give it to Travis in the fact that the physicality portion of it, being able to play offense one drive and then turn around and still be able to have enough stamina, physicality, mentality to just flip your brain to do that in that short of a time frame, I'll give it to him.
And just sorry to interrupt, but I want to hit on Tyler's comment because it adds on to what you just said. Because Tyler says he hasn't done that in the NFL yet, but I feel like the goalposts keep getting moved for Travis Hunter. And I'm a Florida State fan, right? So I'm kind of guilty of this because obviously there's still a little bit of salt from everything that happened with Travis Hunter in the Florida State situation, which we obviously knew. NIL came through, big deal to go to Jackson State, play for Dion. Barstool Sports gave him I think it was $1.5 million. Florida State wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, he made the right decision. Obviously, he's a top 5 pick. Who knows if he would have been that at Florida State, because Florida State's been kind of, other than that 2 years, that kind of seems like an anomaly now. Florida State's been pretty damn irrelevant the last couple of years. But Travis Hunter, I feel like people keep moving the goalpost on him, and I'm not here to to be a Travis Hunter glazer or anything, but listen, everyone was like, he's not going to be able to do it all through high school. He did it. Well, he's not going to be able to do it at the collegiate level.
Yeah.
Well, he did it at Jackson State. Okay, well, he's not going to be able to do it in Power 5. He fucking did it well at Colorado in a Power 5 school. He did it well in the Pac-12, and then he did it again well in the Big 12, back-to-back, 2 different conferences. And again, not elite. I still don't think he should have won the Heisman Trophy. I don't think because he didn't snaps aren't stats.
Yeah.
They're just not. And it's impressive to play that many snaps, but they're not stats, man. Ashton Jeanty should have been the Heisman Trophy winner. You and I are eye to eye on that, and yes. I think a lot of people are. But sports writers, they just love popularity.
I think snaps are stats when it comes to corners. I think that's where it does end up, because there are guys like Darrelle Revis where he may be only targeted 3 times in a game because of who he is. And I feel like there were a lot of Big 12 teams this past year that saw Travis Hunter and they were like, oh, we don't want to end up on TikTok.
And I think that's fair. Fair.
So at corner, I think you can say snaps are stats. Every other position, you are 100% correct. I think that's where, especially if you are a corner that has that stature, I think that's where it draws the line.
He won the fucking Biletnikoff as the nation's best wide receiver, and he was so far. Who was the kid from San Jose State?
That guy. He led the nation in receiving yards, receptions, and I think he was either second or third.
Touchdowns
or first, second, or third in touchdowns.
I think he had the hat trick. I want to say he had the hat trick,
but it was unheard of that. But at the end of the day, it's one of those. It's mirrored to Shohei, because there were a lot of times that there was a better pitcher or there was a better hitter that might have better stats than what Shohei did for the Silver Slugger or for the Cy Young. But Shohei ended up getting it because he was able to do both.
Dude, and Shohei, it's not like Shohei's out there pitching bad. He and this is what I was going to say, Travis Hunter does both decently well.
Yeah.
You say good, I say a good wide receiver and an average corner. But Shohei was an above-average pitcher because I think his career ERA, and I don't have this in front of me, so if somebody wants to look this up, I think without looking at it, without stat digging, I think his career ERA is like 3.7, which means in a 6-inning start, dude, he's given up 2 runs at the most.
And that's a lot
maybe
better
3.
That's a lot better than 60% of the MLB to begin with, who pay attention, who just do nothing but pitch.
That is well above league average.
Yeah.
I think league average ERA is in the low 4s, if I'm not mistaken. I wish Sam Peebles was here. He's our stats guy. And on the offensive side, he not only hits absolute fucking tanks.
Yeah.
But the dude steals bags. He's a cerebral base runner.
3.01.
So even better, he's got a career 3.01 ERA, dude. That's
and the fact that he was able to play this past year after getting Tommy John surgery and do nothing but hit
Nukes.
and still hit for a high average and high homers with Tommy John, recovering from Tommy John.
Stealing bags. I think he had 60-40. Is that what he had?
And the fact that he's 6'4", 6'5", and is one of the fastest players in the nation, in the MLB, that's he's just a freak, dude.
And he's doing, like Tyler just said, he's doing it at the highest level of baseball, Major League Baseball. And in the World Baseball Classic, playing against the best players in the world from every country, he did it there. And he just continues.
He did it in Korea.
He did, yeah.
Not in
Or
Korea, Japan.
Yeah.
He did it in Japan. And it's just like, what? I'm excited. At the end of the day, I'm excited to see what team drafts Travis and what they decide to do with him, because there were a lot of people. I'm curious to see what the NFL coaches want to do with him, whether they're going to allow him to still play both sides or if they're going to make him focus, and which one does he choose.
I think in a 17-game season, you can expect to see that snap count come way down if he does do both. The season's just too long in the NFL to do both. I know he says he wants to, and I hope he gets an opportunity to. But he already has had durability issues. He has, missed some time, a couple seasons in a row, unhealthy. He's pretty small.
I think he ends up as more of a corner with a couple gadget plays.
Because you can't be a wide receiver with a couple of packages on defense, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's more than likely. That's your most likely scenario. Is he'll be a full-time corner.
My guy.
Who's that? Where do y'all rank him at wide receiver? Listen, I'm just going to let you know that this is the worst NFL draft of my lifetime. So he's probably the top wide receiver and top corner available in this draft. I think it's obviously a little bit of homer pick, but Azareye'h Thomas from Niceville, Florida State boy, coming out of this draft, I think he's going to be a steal from somebody. I think he may have snuck his way into the first round, but this draft is shit. It's terrible.
I'm curious to see what happens with Kyron Lacey from LSU, because he projected as a top 15 draft pick, another wide receiver coming from LSU, then got into all the legal trouble with possibly being at fault for running over an elderly gentleman on campus. I don't know anything more about that, so don't ask me about that.
Could be the Ole Miss situation. Yeah.
Sweep it and go.
The Ole Miss situation. Have you heard anything about that?
No.
Off the air.
Right.
The quarterback from Mizzou is a sleeper. We were just watching a video on Brady Cook before we went on the air. But that's it, dude. This draft seems like it's sleepers because I don't know if Cam Ward's going to be a good pro. I don't know if Shedeur going to be a good pro. Like there's so many. I don't think there's a sure thing. Even Abdul Carter's coming in with injury concerns already.
Yeah. He played hurt the whole postseason,
and he's a clear-cut first overall pick right now.
Yes,
and it's like I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know if I touch it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I'm like, this is not the year to have the first overall draft pick.
Poor Tennessee, makes sense
as per usual.
As per usual, yep.
But yes, at the end, to answer your question, I think parts of what Travis said are true, but in totality, for what he was really going for, no. Shohei wins 10 out of 10 times.
And we both know what he's doing. It's Travis Hunter, right? So he's always going to be running his mouth in some capacity. In a lot of ways, that has helped boost his stock, so you can't really knock him too much for it.
Yeah.
But you're starting to get to that level where the checks you write have to get cashed. And if you put yourself in a position where you can't cash these checks, man, the NFL is a different animal. And once again, I know I just accused everybody of moving the goalposts, but the NFL, again, 17-game season, fixing to be 18 in a couple years. It may even be next season, 2026 season. Durability, you already struggle with it. You're projected to go to the Giants, which you're going to be covering the likes of like CeeDee Lamb. You're going to be covering the likes of A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel, new to the NFC East as well. You have to cover those guys 6 times a year.
He might look at if he gets drafted to the Giants, he might look at the coaching staff and say, DeVito's throwing to me? No, I'm a corner. I'm a corner.
Yeah, maybe that's the Giants' strategy here. Maybe that's their. But I mean, and then but for the Giants, if you can get a young quarterback in there or somebody, maybe you sign Sam Darnold for a year. Maybe I don't know what the situation that they're going to put themselves into here is, but maybe you bring Jameis in for a year just to kind of bridge that gap.
There was something I saw earlier today. Speaking of Rodgers, there was something I saw earlier today. It was talking about the Titans, and it said it was like Plan A or Plan B, and it said Plan A was for the Titans to sign Rodgers, and I'm thinking you have the number 1 overall draft pick. Like the only reason you don't sign Rodgers is if you don't like. The only reason you sign Rodgers is if you don't like someone in the draft, and then Plan B was trade down and draft Cam Ward, and I'm like, trade down? How far down you going? Like 2 or 3?
Right.
You're at 1. If you want Cam Ward, go get Cam Ward off rip.
That's what I'm saying. Just do it. That would be the most Tennessee Titans thing. Yeah, Devontae Adams got released. He's an absolute bum as well. He's been overrated from the word go. Sorry. I know. I never thought he was that good. Rodgers made him better than he was. As soon as he wasn't with Rodgers anymore, he was terrible.
I could see that.
Prime Rodgers, by the way. Prime Rodgers.
Because there's a quarterback by the name of Peyton Manning that made a living for players like Austin Collie.
Yeah.
And Brandon Stokely. That you go to any other team,
right,
they've never heard of.
Any other quarterback.
5'8" white man. Yeah. Why are you in my wide receiver room? But you play with Peyton Manning. Oh, you're great. Like two random names that you haven't heard. We've never said on the podcast on the show before. But because Peyton Manning threw to them, he elevated his receivers.
You know their names.
And as a quarterback, your number 1 job is, hey, if you don't have that number 1 guy, yeah, it's great to have that number 1 guy. But it was addition by subtraction for Josh Allen this past year.
Yeah.
He lost Stephon Diggs, but now who do you cover?
Right.
He had all the then he got Amari Cooper throughout the year, but
you have a bunch of number 2 receivers.
He also had Shakir, Coleman.
Yeah.
Now he's got
Mac Hollins.
Mac Hollins.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of number 2s. Who do you cover? Who do you double?
I agree.
Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid.
I think it might be an overrated. I'm not saying that this isn't important, but I just think like maybe in today's NFL, keeping that attitude, keeping that mindset, maybe it's overrated to have a number 1 receiver nowadays. Like to have the guy. Now, obviously, if you have a game changer like a Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson, who's the kid that just came out of Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr., like he's going to be.
If you get one of those guys, like there's a big difference, and I think Stephon was. I think he's a year removed from that group of people. But I think as long as you
those guys don't bring cancer to the locker room like Stephon does.
If you look at the guy without the rose tinted glasses that most GMs look at, because you can't tell me the guys in Texas are looking at their roster going, oh yeah, we've got our number 1 with Stephon.
Right.
We've got our number 1 guy. Like you can't tell me that they're not looking at it. But at the end of the day, he's not the same Stephon Diggs that he was even back to Maryland. He's not that same guy. So if you look at it, you have to be true to yourself. Because right now, I don't know the Saints wise. I don't know if you consider Olave in that term of Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Like, yes, he can break out a game. Yes, he can do great things. But is he going to be able to beat double coverage? Right. Is he going to be able to beat the safety over top? That is where you need, because
he's also the only one of those guys that has dog shit thrown to him.
But
I'm
you
not
also
meaning to punch down on your team.
No,
it's just
bring it on. I watched the whole season.
I mean, even like Darnold's better than Derek Carr right now.
But at the end of the day, I think there's only true. I think there's only like 4, maybe 5 true number one wide receivers in the NFL. And if you look at your team and think you have a true number one wide receiver, odds are you don't.
I mean, even my team, like, I know you weren't saying, like, look at your team specifically to talk to me, but even mine, like, everybody, it's Tyreek. And Tyreek has fumbled, or, like, I mean, for lack of better words, like, no pun intended, has fumbled the opportunity to really be the guy in the NFL in big moments. Dude, Tyreek has absolutely disappeared, and he's become one-dimensional almost, and he'll catch the ball 7 yards upfield but only get a 4-yard gain because he tries to do too much, and it's just...
He's had 2 good years since being in Miami.
Yeah.
And how long has he been there?
4 years. So
his first 2 years were his best years.
I would say the middle 2, I think. I think the first year was average.
Feeling out.
Yeah, trying to learn the offense, got Tua, and then the second and third year were... So I think... Actually, I think this will be his 4th season, because it was when I rolled my ankle and we were doing it out of Ted's shed that it happened. So I think first season was all right, second season was elite, last season was ass.
Yeah, so 1 out of 3.
1 out of 3 has been right. And, again, that one was like far and away the best wide receiver in football. Yeah. But
so my list of wide receivers in no particular order: CD. I would agree. I would put him in that upper echelon of wide receivers, as much as it pains me to say.
I had to think about it like while you're talking here.
I'm going Jamar and Justin, and then I'm gonna give the early edge to Puka, because I think he does a lot really good.
I feel like I'm not ready on Puka, but I feel like I can respect you for doing it.
That's my 4 true number one wide receivers.
I would say, right now. Obviously, the 2 you mentioned, Jamar and Justin. Man, after that, it just gets so rough around the league, just because nobody really has that. I'm still going to wrap Tyreek into that, just because.
He still has the ability.
Just because when you talk about ability, there's nobody in the NFL like him.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and go CeeDee Lamb again. Cancer, absolute cancer, diva, but talent is talent. It's just, it is what it is. And then after that, man, it's finding a 5th, because you're not ready to put like a Malik Neighbors in there, because you got to see
after 1 year,
right? You got to see some. You want to see some build.
Hell, even if you're putting up numbers with Daniel Jones throwing to you, I mean, you deserve some props.
Yeah, but he ruined the draft for them.
Yes.
Him and DeVito destroyed the draft. Yeah, I agree, Danielle, that Jamar, but I think that's mostly on the Bengals, to be honest with you.
You would have a bad attitude as well if you were being told multiple times over, no, I'm not going to pay you.
I'm not going to pay you. Again, have said time and time again that this is why you don't pay one player $50+ million a year. And I'm not using this as an opportunity to disrespect Joe Burrow, because the Dolphins just did it with Tua as well. But you handicap the franchise, and especially when you play for a franchise as cheap as hell as the Cincinnati Bengals, when you give somebody like Joe Burrow, who incredible, but once again, durability issues, right? And now you gave him 70% of your yearly cap that you're going to spend.
Yeah.
You handicap the franchise. So maybe if he takes not a pay cut, but restructures this deal a little bit, maybe that'll help Jamar. I don't blame Jamar for the situation in Cincinnati whatsoever. I think that I wish he would be a little bit more team friendly, but I think that's just athletes around. I think that's just the vibe now.
Yeah.
But again, with Joe Burrow, it's just durability issues. I don't think he has gone downhill a little bit, but it's not like.
But that's football in general.
You can't get sacked 60 times a season and be elite forever,
and expect to stay 100% healthy. That's football 101. Like, what was the greatest? Who was the greatest team after 2 weeks this past season? The Saints. What did we do? We stayed healthy and we kept Derek Carr upright. We scored 50 points against the Cowboys. We scored like 40 against the Panthers. Scored 90 plus points in back-to-back weeks, and then we come back in week 3 and Derek Carr goes down, Olave ends up getting hurt. Like our team was so decimated. At the end of the day, you need to have continuity against across the offensive line. You need to have a good to decent offensive line. And who cares? Who cares what you have at the skill position level if you've got a good to decent offensive line with a competent quarterback in the NFL?
I'm happy to see the Bears adding to their offensive line. Going to keep Caleb Williams on his feet. I think he's extremely talented. I hope he gets an opportunity to prove it. They added to, Joe Thuney. They traded for him today from the Kansas City Chiefs, all-pro offensive lineman. And then they signed somebody else this week as well, or maybe traded for somebody else this week, another like all-pro offensive line. So that's what you have to do, man. It doesn't matter how damn good your quarterback is. If you can't protect him, then it doesn't matter. And it's going to, in a lot of cases, make the quarterback look worse than they are.
And at the end of the day, a lot of the plays that Caleb was making this past season, like where he's scrambling around Mahomes-ish and he's getting sacked.
He has to.
At the end of the day, like people were going back and looking at film from him at USC and they were like, oh, well, he was making the plays here. Like, yes, he didn't have the greatest athletes of all time chasing after him. Like the greatest athletes of today are playing football on the defensive side.
I don't think people realize how good you have to be a practice squad linebacker.
Yeah. Like you are in the 1% of the 1% to be starting in the NFL. You are the 1% of the 1%. It's nuts.
Unpopular opinion. I think once players not all start making money, they're more worried about. Oh, well, yeah, I think that's especially college football now. College football is,
and I don't think that about everybody, because there are a couple that okay, yeah, I got paid, I still got to go do my job, and I'm not going to take that away from those guys, but it seems like nowadays they're few and far between.
Like I'd say she's right about 80% of athletes.
Yeah.
75 to 80% are 100% more. I mean, is anybody gonna like? I don't buy jerseys anymore for that reason.
Yeah, I saw that post,
like
because it was and at the end of the day, like you've got people with the mindset growing up. They're like, okay, this is my way out of X.
Yeah.
Then they go to college, and up until now, it had been okay. College is a stepping stone to the NFL where I get paid, where I get really paid. Then I go to the NFL, and I've got to keep striving because I've got to keep, now that I've given my mom money, I've got to keep paying. I've got to make sure that we stay this. We got to do this. We got to do that. At the end of the day, it's totally flipped on its head now, because once you get to college, that's where you're starting to get paid. Yeah. And I can't wait for the day where we're going to start to see 4 and 5 year seniors again.
And it's absolutely
just because they're getting paid because they don't want to go to the NFL just yet, a.k.a. Garrett Nussmeier.
And it's absolutely disgusting that, college football has become this thing where Boise State and Oregon, when they play earlier in the year, Oregon's coaches are over there recruiting Boise State's players like, hey, we can give you more money.
Yeah.
You're good. You're really good. You should think about coming here next year. Dude, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
we gotta fix sports in general.
We need
Trump to just sign a bunch of executive orders on college football.
We opened up a Pandora's box and we can't put it back in.
Yeah, no, it's over.
That's the worst part of it.
You started this with no limitations, and now you can't do it now. Again, you can't.
And we're trying to wrangle it in, and that's the worst part of it. That they're still trying to figure out. How do we fix it?
Yeah.
Well, you got to put all these caps and regulations and rules, but at the end of the day, you open it like the Wild West. What did you expect?
Part of that's why the NBA is starting to fall off. And, I mean, if college football doesn't at least try to fix some of their issues, they could be next, dude, is all I'm trying to say. Like the
NBA was the one who started with the player has all the leverage.
Man, it's just
And now it's bleeding into college football. Makes me want to kick a fat kid at Kmart.
we don't have any Kmarts anymore, but I'll let you kick me. But we need to kick it off the show because we are at the hour 45 mark. I smell my dinner, and
I'm getting hungry.
I'm a fat boy, so
Hungry.
time to get off here. I know you need to stop and get food on the way home as well. So
Yes.
all right, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Danielle, hit me up. We'll get you back on the show here pretty soon. I don't know what we're gonna do next week once again, but we'll figure it out. Right?
And Danielle, I love Garrett Nussmeier.
Oh,
I'm
Nussy.
glad. Yeah, I'm glad that he came back for his senior year. I'm excited for what LSU has to put on the table. I just had to give him a little shout out
Oh, my
because
mom was still here the whole damn time. Huh?
he arguably could have been a top 5 draft pick
Yeah, this quarterback class.
with this quarterback class, but he also, I think he also wants to show like he was better than that, and I'm glad that he wants to grow because he had a lot of situations last year, especially the Texas A&M game where he threw a lot of interceptions that he just completely did not see the outside linebacker dropping in coverage, and I'm like, how do you not see that, bro?
Right.
But I'm also sitting on my couch watching the game, so I will give him that.
I throw more pick sixes to linebackers in EA Sports than anybody else.
Oh,
The linebackers pick me off so much, dude.
yeah.
So much.
I got picked off by a defensive lineman the other day because he sent their blitz. He blitzed his linebackers and dropped his left end,
Oh, God.
and I had mesh routes covered, and I was like, "Oh, he blitzed that guy. Let me just." Oh, there's a linebacker. There's a guy right there. He picked it, took it about 15 yards, and it started. He did the little truffle shuffle, and I was like, "That's a freaking lineman."
That's disrespectful.
Oh my god.
Well, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, don't know what we're doing next week, but keep your eyes on the social media. We'll let you guys know. We love you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.